All right. All right. Welcome, everyone. Happy Litha and Summer Solstice celebration. I'm Niene Pugliano. I am the creatrix and owner of Urban Oracle, and I am pumped to have you here. I am joined by our lovely sisters of Amanda Van Dorn. Give a little wave, Amanda. And we've got Katie Ferguson with us as well. She's another one of our sisters. And we are happy to help you here. If you've got any questions while we are doing our shares today about the summer solstice and about the Litha Sabbat, please just type it in the chat feature, and Miss Amanda is going to be responding to your questions for you. So she'll interject if she doesn't know. If she doesn't have the answer, she's going to interject, and I'll be happy to fill in any gaps. So, few things that we want to start with as we get the ball rolling. I'm going to attempt to share my screen with you about a few things. So the first thing I would like to share with you is how to connect with us. Yep, perfect. Okay, so if you go to our website at urbanoracle.com, you can join our email list. There's a pop-up that'll appear right away when you first log in, and you can just enter your email address, and that way you can stay connected with us. We usually send 1, maybe 2 emails a month, so not a lot of traffic there. And then we're very easy to find on both Facebook and YouTube. This video will be recorded today, and you can revisit it later on our YouTube channel for free at Urban Oracle. Instagram, we're at Urban Oracle Shop. A little bit different. There's no comma in the title, and it's all condensed one word, Urban Oracle Shop. And then, oh, this is not the most updated one. Oh, poo. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. We're just gonna, I'm so sorry. Not what I was thinking here. We have a new private online community, which is super duper exciting. And I'm just going to have to stop the share real quick to connect this new photo. Unless, Amanda, you can tell me if the photo changes. Nothing yet? Okay. So we're going to stop the share. We're going to share this new one. Okay, it's this one. Okay. So this one here at the end, join our online community. This is an email address or a URL that you're really going to want to write down. So this is our private online community. So if there's things you like about Facebook and things you don't like about Facebook, that's probably all the politics, all the negativity, and people posting a lot of thoughtless, mindless things on Facebook. So this particular online community is just for consciousness community. It's for building and thriving in very organic and spiritually and heart-centric relationships in a very sacred and safe space. And it's a platform that's designed for having thoughtful dialogue around us achieving our soul's purpose, about achieving our dreams and goals, talking about our fears, our blocks and barriers, and how we can best show up and support one another, things like that. So if you are interested and would like to check out our online private social media community, go visit us at that URL here at the bottom. Okay, it's a Mighty Network. It takes less than a minute to join. And that's a really fun place to connect with us. And that is the best way to stay up to date on all things going on at Urban Oracle. So we hope to see you there. Enough of that. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to start off with our Shamanic Tale of the Sun. We're going to start with something fun, and then we'll move into some history of Litha, and then we'll talk about Vulture Medicine, and then we're going to dive into our yoga and meditation for the day. So Little warning about this Shamanic Tale of the Sun. I encourage you to close your eyes and drink this story in. You can watch me if you want to, but there's going to be a lot of business going on while I'm reading this story, and it might be a little overwhelming for you. So I would encourage you just to close your eyes and drink the story in that way. Okay, so I'm actually just not even going to look at my screen because I don't want to get distracted by myself. Here we go. All right, close your peepers and soak it all in. All right. Okay. I'm sure no one's going to close their eyes now after all that. Okay, here we go. All right. Long, long ago, long before the age of man, in the earliest of time, when the earth was covered in bright green, brilliant blue, and bright gold, when the trees stood hundreds of feet high, and the crystal clear rivers formed swirly, twirly patterns across the land, and the air still smelled of honey and jasmine. The sun lives very close to the earth. So close, in fact, that life upon the earth was becoming unbearable. The animal kingdom called a special council, and it was at this special council where they would decide what to do about the increasing heat from the sun. The turtle, the oldest and wisest of their leaders, was first to speak, and she declared with her snapping jaws that the sun must be placed further away in the sky. All the animals in the kingdom roared, clucked, mewed, sung, barked, and chopped in agreement. The sun must be taken further away, up, up into the sky, they cried. Another elder stepped forward among the council. It was the elder of Bear. And Bear asked all the animals in the animal kingdom, who among you will complete this great task and save us all? The fox was the very first animal in the animal kingdom to volunteer to be the savior of all life as they knew it. Fox, with his fiery red fur and his snow-dipped tail, scooped up the sun into his mouth and mighty sharp teeth, and began to run the sun up into the sky. But the heat of the sun grew too hot that the fox could no longer hold on. He could no longer carry the heat of the sun in his mouth among his mighty sharp teeth. And so Fox dropped the sun, and to this day, the inside of a fox's mouth has remained black. The animal kingdom gasped as they felt the heat of the sun once more becoming more and more unbearable. Desperately, they looked back to Bear to see if he had any more ideas. But then an opossum sauntered forward, and she declared that she would be honored to become the savior of all life as they knew it. And so it was that the opossum lassoed her long, curly-whirly tail around the sun, and she began to run up into the heavens. But the heat of the sun grew too hot that the opossum could no longer hold on. She could no longer run with the heat of the sun wrapped within her long, curly-whirly tail. And so opossum dropped the sun. And to this day, the opossum's tail has remained hairless. Now the animal kingdom gasped as they felt the heat of the sun once more becoming more and more unbearable. The sun must be placed animals cried, "What shall we do?" And it was then that the vulture stepped forward. Now the vulture was the most beautiful and magnanimous of all the birds in the animal kingdom. The most beautiful, for upon its head was crowned the most dazzling plumage of every color feather in existence. The feathery bouquet that crowned the vulture's head was the envy of every bird in the animal kingdom. None of their feathers could compete with the beauty and awe vulture's plumage inspired. And so it was that vulture thrust his crown, the most dazzling plumage of every colored feather, upon the surface of the sun, and began to flap his mighty wings. With each powerful stroke of his mighty wings, the sun rose higher and higher into the sky. The vulture could feel the heat of the sun growing ever so hot on his head, that the sun had begun to burn away his dazzling plumage of every color feather. But the vulture did not drop the sun. He did not drop the sun and turn back. Vulture kept flapping with powerful strokes of his mighty wings, and he pushed the sun further and further up towards the heavens. Vulture continued powerful strokes of his mighty wings until finally the sun was a safe distance away from the earth, away from his kin of the animal kingdom. It was there that the vulture left the sun, in its new home among the heavens, and without looking back, Vulture returned to his friends on earth. And so it was that Vulture had saved the animal kingdom, and to this day, the vulture's head remains naked and without dazzling plumage of every color. Drink it all in. Savor the treats of that story. So fun. All right. Miss Katie. She is our glorious historian and loves researching all things. Katie's going to share with us about the history of Litha and maybe why that story has anything to do with our celebration of the summer solstice. Take it away, Miss Katie.
All righty. So Litha actually means light. It's a festival dedicated to the life-giving regenerative powers of the sun. The ancient Irish were celebrating the summer solstice, which is another word for Litha, thousands of years ago. So it's a very old celebration. Litha is one of the 8 Sabbats celebrated by pagans and witches throughout the year. It takes place between June 20th about to June 22nd, and is one of the 4 fire festivals celebrated. Like I said, Litha is also known as the summer solstice or midsummer, which marks the longest day of the year. And a fun fact, stone circles such as Stonehenge were oriented to highlight the rising of the sun on the day of the summer solstice. And Stonehenge is, I think, like 5,000 years old, if I'm not mistaken. So a very long celebrated Sabbat. The celebrations of Litha have been pulled from many cultures, anywhere from the Celts even to the Romans. So it's a hodgepodge, a celebration that has been pieced together from very vast differently cultures from all walks of life and time periods. The early European traditions celebrated midsummer by setting large wheels on fire and then rolling them down a hill into a body of water. The Romans honored this time as sacred to Juno, the wife of Jupiter and goddess of women and childbirth. Her name gives us the month of June. For ancient Celts, midsummer was celebrated with hilltop bonfires, and that it was a time to honor the space between earth and the heavens. Litha, summer solstice, midsummer, is also one of those Sabbats where the veil between our world and the other world, the Fey world, the spiritual world, is very thin, much like Beltane and Samhain. The veil between our world and the other world is very thin. So in some practices, Litha is when a battle between light and dark takes place. In this battle, we have twin brothers, the Oak King and the Holly King, and they're battling each other for control. During each solstice, the summer solstice, Litha, and the winter solstice, Yule, they battle for power and the balance shifts. The Oak King, who represents daylight, rules from the winter solstice or Yule all the way to Litha. During this time, the days steadily get longer. However, during Litha, the Holly King wins the battle, and the days get steadily darker until Yule. On Litha, people often celebrate inner brightness with meditation. It's often celebrated outside unless, it's not possible. More traditional people will have bonfires or smaller fires to honor the holiday. So like I mentioned, it's a fire festival. Fire is very important in Litha. It has a purifying aspect to it. And much like Beltane, the fires were lit within the communities, and the fires would be shared among the communities. People would take embers of the community fire back to their home to give the sense of connectedness, the community together with this purifying fire. Witches and Wiccans consider this a lucky day to get married or hold love rituals like hand fastings. At its core, Litha is a festival of light, brightness, and warmth. So it's highly suggested to spend this time outdoors, celebrating the sun and everything that it gives to the earth.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Katie. I feel like Amanda has the right idea wearing yellow. I didn't get the memo. she planned ahead. That was a smart idea.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, we've got Litha, the Litha Sabbat of you've got June 20th, 21st, some beliefs in the 22nd of this particular Sabbath holiday. And with the summer solstice, we're talking about the longest day of the year. So the day where we have the most light. Okay, so that's why all the things we're sharing today, from a shamanic tale of the sun to the Vulture Medicine I'm going to share next, to our sun meditation and sun yoga. It's a very sun-centric, sun-celebratory call today. So thanks again so much for joining us. And thank you so much, Katie, for sharing about the history of the Litha Sabbat. And I'm going to now take you on a magical journey of better understanding the magnanimous awesomeness of the vulture. That's probably not a way to say that, but whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna share my screen with you, and here we go. Okay. Boom. Okay, welcome to Vulture Medicine. All right. So vultures are probably the most misunderstood and misaligned of all creatures. People typically see them as growth and associate them only with death. But all myths and tales of vultures reflect the exact opposite. The vulture is and has been shared among cultures across the globe as the hero of the animal kingdom, as told in our Shamanic Tale of the Sun, the avenger of nature spirits, ensuring the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, and a symbol of the mother in Egypt by its ability to create environments so life can be sustained. The Pueblo Indians view vultures as a sign of purification. Like Katie was talking about earlier, purification is part of the Litha Sabbat. I feel like I'm hearing someone new coming on to the call. Let me confirm if I need to let someone in. So sorry. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. How do I get back my view? Shoot. I might have to pause the share. Oh, here we go. Oh, no. Sorry. False alarm. False alarm. Okay. Oh, goodness. I'm having all kinds of issues here. Okay. Okay. Are we still screen sharing? We're not. I will overcome the technological blip. Okay. Okay. Ta-da. Okay. All right. Back to the Pueblo Indians. The Pueblo Indians viewed vultures as a sign of purification. So its medicine would restore harmony that had been broken among the tribe. Its feathers have long been used in rituals in grounding, cleansing, and shape-shifting. And turkey vulture feathers have been associated with facilitating a return to self through channeling, shape-shifting, and other forms of mediumship. The Pueblo Indians would even use turkey vulture feathers to revive and recover their slain warriors. Just super cool. All right. Now, though the vulture is a member of the raptor family, their feet are too weak and their talons are too short for them to do any hunting themselves. So they rely on other species to do the hunting for them. They are also a species that works in harmonious relationship with the elements, as they rely on the elements to further break down deceased animals to make them easier for the vulture to digest and devour the remnants. Now, as gruesome as that may sound to some, the role vultures play in the circle of life, in fact, keeps the planet rid of further disease. They are the cleanup crew. And the job that they perform so well leaves behind nutrients the earth needs to sustain new life, and it consumes the rest to protect the planet from further infection. So cool. All right, now there are many types of vultures, and each having their own defining characteristics. The Andean Condor is a member of the vulture family, and it is the largest flying bird in the world with a wingspan of up to 12 feet. The most common types of vultures that we see, especially in North America, are the black vulture and the turkey vulture. Now, the black vulture is named for its color. Now, I don't speak Latin, so please allow me a little bit of grace in my pronunciation of things. But the black vulture is called Caragapus atratus, meaning vulture dressed in black. And the turkey vulture, which has a long tail and bicolored wings, is Cathartus aura, meaning golden purifier. Turkey vultures will congregate on communal roosts at night, but at dawn, they will stretch open their wings as if to salute the sun. This daily morning ritual they perform is to evaporate any dew that has been collected on their wings overnight and to allow the sun's rays to purify and detoxify their wings from harmful bacteria. Now, vultures, more so than any other raptors, have a tremendous ability to catch thermals in flight, making vultures the best gliders around. A vulture's eyes can also see 8 times more sharply than a human, and one of its most powerful senses is that of smell. They are able to sense food simply by smelling it. Because of this, those with the animal totem of vulture will often find themselves deeply drawn to working in aromatherapy. Now, a vulture's digestive tract can resist botulism thousands of times better than a human. Their digestion contains chemicals that kill viruses and bacteria that reside in the foods they eat. This same chemical, in fact, is also found within their excrement. The vulture is one of few animals to eliminate on their own legs and feet. I hate this word, but by squirting excrement on themselves, the word squirt, I hate it. By squirting excrement on themselves, on their legs and feet, they're cleansing their legs and feet and ridding them of any bacteria that may have accumulated on them from feasting. So vultures also do this to cool down their feet if they're living in hotter climates. So for those with this totem, examining your overall digestive health would be very prudent for you. If you've been feeling really sluggish as of late, see if your bowels may require some stimulation. Constipation, FYI, is something that will automatically make you feel very sluggish and tired. It will definitely deplete your energy, which is kind of interesting. All right, now despite digging for treasure in open carcasses all day, vultures are surprisingly clean birds, and they bathe themselves regularly. The featherless head of the vulture, coupled with the sun's rays, their little salute to the sun in the morning, helps vulture to not accumulate any infections on their face or in and around their eyes and nose. Vultures don't actually have a voice like other birds and raptors. Any sounds that they do produce actually comes from their nose, and it will sound as if they're hissing. For those with this totem, it shows that it may be time for you to take action rather than talking about taking action. And though it's not always the case, and I'm to this day unsure if this particular phenomenon is geographically specific, but some vultures have been known to build their nests and raise their young underground, which completely blows my mind. Their sole purpose and their life evolution is the ultimate reflection of the life, death, and rebirth cycle. I cannot think of another animal that represents the life, death, and rebirth cycle so completely. Vultures help usher the remnants of creatures from this life to the next so that new life can be created. And their young are born among the same remnants they gifted to the earth, underground. And then when they leave the nest 3 months later, they ascend straight into the heavens, higher than any other bird in the sky, and only touch ground again to help others pass on. It's like so freaking cool. Are you convinced yet? Are you excited? I'm excited. Okay. So key things to focus on when it comes to vulture medicine, and some things to take away about vultures, is you want to think about these keynotes of purification, the death and rebirth cycle, the necessity of it, the beauty of it, and new vision. Okay, so if you have vulture as a spirit guide or totem, it can show you how to use energy powerfully and efficiently. Vultures glide effortlessly on the wind, soaring to extraordinary heights while using little to no energy. So the vulture skillfully employs already existing air currents against the pull of gravity. What that symbolizes for you, or for those with this totem, is that gravity, aka the cares of your world, will not weigh you down. Vulture medicine can also awaken aura sensing abilities in those who share this totem. and the ability to see the subtleties in life that others may not. Now, in the process of the vulture, that the vulture does not use its own energy, but the energies of the earth instead, or in other words, the natural order of things, Vulture can teach you to use what is already available to you, thus requiring the least amount of effort on your part. People with vulture totems are often concerned with community and family health, and usually create communities of people around them, and they help to maintain communities as well. Folks with vulture totem like to make sure that everyone is getting something out of the community, but vulture medicine can also make sure that you're not spreading yourselves too thin. Now, the vulture is a very powerful totem, and its cycle of power, lucky for us, is year round. The vulture is a promise that hardship is temporary and necessary for a higher purpose. And once a vulture enters your life as a totem or a guide, it will remain with you for life. All right. Okay, so here is some logistical things about our yoga and meditation we're going to do. So vultures, oh my goodness, I can't get enough of them. I think they're so spectacular and so misunderstood. They're so cool. Okay, so for the yoga and meditation part, wow, when we planned this, we had no idea all the things that would go into hosting a live event that involves guided yoga. Wowzers! What an adventure. I don't envy people who do this every week. Okay, so here's the best that we could come up with for you. Okay, we have pre-recorded an instructional video of guided yoga and a guided meditation. The guided yoga, it has live demonstrations. There's some slowed down components where we're breaking certain movements down for you to show you step by step how to do them. Because if you've never done yoga before, this video is taking you into account. So here's what I would encourage. Here's some things that need to be said before we press play and start doing this. So number one, if you are very well oriented with yoga, then go ahead and just listen for the audio cues instead of having to follow along with the screen. You will understand all the poses I'm speaking about, and you can just kind of go in your own flow, go in your own pace. When I am breaking down a pose, I would just encourage you to stay in the pose you're in and just to continue to breathe deeply. This particular sun yoga is not vinyasa, which means we're not going to spend one breath, one inhale, one exhale per pose. We're actually going to hang out in most of the poses for a good 5 breaths. Okay, so this is about sinking in, deepening in, connecting with the breath, purifying the body like the Litha Sabbat encourages, opening up the chest and the hips to encourage the entrance of the sun within ourselves. Okay, so we're going to hang out in these poses. So it should be nice, luxurious, yummy, and supple. If you ever get tired in this guided yoga, please take child's pose at any time. You can jump back in anytime you want. Rest and take child's pose. We'll teach you how to do child's pose in the beginning, but that is a pose that you can go into at any point throughout the video. Also, the yoga and meditation portion of this video has been pre-recorded separately and will be available tomorrow publicly on our YouTube channel. So you can bypass. I mean, I'm sure you want to revisit the Shamanic Tale of the Sun again and relearn about Litha and hear more about vultures. But if you want to bypass all that, you can just go to YouTube and press play again, and you can do this yoga and meditation again. So don't feel bad if you need to take child's pose often. That's totally cool. Just know that you should take care of your body. The other thing is what we're going to do, because when some people do yoga and meditation afterwards, they might be kind of blissed out or feeling really introspective, that talking or having conversation is like the last thing they want to do. So I want to tell you just a few things to give you an easy out if you just want to log off after the yoga and meditation. We're going to be here when it ends to reconnect with those who actually want to, but just in case, we want to make sure you have some type of closure around what you're about to do. Okay, so in case that fits the bill for you and you just are like not wanting to talk afterwards, you just kind of want to relax and stay in your bliss, we totally get it. So what we want you to take away from this yoga and meditation is that we encourage you to actually do this routine every single day leading up to Litha. That's why we're hosting this event a week in advance. So if you do this sun yoga and sun meditation each day up leading up to Litha, you're really preparing your mind, body, and spirit to be fully ready to embrace the sun come summer solstice. So that is our hope for you, is that if you can't do it every day, it's about progress, not perfection. So do it as often as you can, but we're going to make this video available to you right away so that you're able to practice your sun yoga and sun meditation. Okay, so this is how it's going to work. I'm going to send you a link in the chat features here. It's a link to a YouTube video. And what we're going to do is we're all going to mute our microphones. We're also all going to turn off our cameras or stop our videos. Okay, so we can't see you. And then you can reposition your laptop or your computer to be in a place where when you're on your mat or wherever you're going to do your yoga, that you're able to see what's on the screen, whether you're standing up or whether you're sitting down on the ground, okay? Because we have standing postures and sit postures. So you're going to have to reposition your screen. You might have to fiddle with your volume too. So just know there's a little bit of setup. But what we're going to do is, so I'm going to give you about 60 seconds, not yet, but I'm going to give you about 60 seconds to go set up your space, readjust your computer, get your yoga mat set out, grab a sip of water, whatever you want to do. And then we're going to come back here, and then I'm going to send you the link, and I'm going to say, okay, mute your mic, shut your video off, everyone go press play. And then we're all going to enjoy a guided yoga, guided meditation. And if you want, when it's over, we're going to come back and meet here, and you can turn your video back on, and you can unmute yourself, and we can all chit chat as we close our Litha celebration. Okay, so what you want to do in your 60 seconds is you're going to go prepare your space, adjusting or repositioning your laptop computer so you can see your poses, standing and seating. Grab any props you might need. If you're someone, when you do yoga, if you need things to put under your knees, like a towel or a foam roller or pad or anything like that to protect your knees, grab some props. If you need straps or blocks, whatever yoga props you might use or would be helpful, or cushions, grab those, put them nearby. You can easily grab them if you need them. And also, you want to have your meditation cushion or a couch cushion or a chair, whatever you're going to use for meditation. You want to have that near you as well, because almost immediately following the yoga, it goes straight into the meditation. There's a little bit of time to prep for the meditation, but it's pretty on top of each other. Okay, so have your meditation thing nearby as well. Okay, so while you're setting up your space, I'm going to go retrieve the link and post it into the chat. Okay, so go. I'll meet you back here in just a little bit. Okay. All right. So I have posted hopefully you've got your space set up. I have posted the YouTube link in the chat. You should be able to just click it and press play. I really hope that everyone can play it just fine, because as soon as I step away, I won't know if you're having an issue. If you do have an issue, I apologize. Just know that this meditation and yoga will easily be accessible. Oh, great, it's working for Katie. Yay. Okay, so this video will be made public starting tomorrow. It's unlisted right now, but tomorrow it's going to be public, so you can revisit this video throughout. Okay, so make sure your microphone's muted, shut your camera off, and then we will meet you back here when our meditation portion of the yoga meditation has come to an end. Enjoy your practice, beauties, and we'll see you in a little bit. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back, everybody. I don't know if you just finished. Amanda and I have been jibber jabbering for a little while. Okay. I hope you all enjoyed your yoga and meditation. Does anybody want to share how they're going to celebrate the Litha Sabbat this year? Any new fun things you want to share that other people can possibly adopt within the next week?
I am gonna try to get out in the sun a little bit. I've been kind of indoors a lot lately, so this next week leading up to Litha, I'm gonna try to soak up the sun a little bit more.
That's awesome. I'm gonna soak up the sun too. I went to the creek this past weekend, and I'm gonna try to do it next Sunday. And I want to also do the yoga every day. Let's just see if I can get up early. We'll see.
Yeah, that's getting up early. That's the trick.
But all that vitamin D is gonna be good.
I am going to be in Oregon and I'm going to go camping. I'm so excited. I'm going to go on my first vacation ever as an adult. And I'm going to go camping with some friends to bring in the summer solstice, to bring in Litha. I'm so excited. Go camping. Camping is like one of my all-time favorite things. And I really go criminal. I should do it all the time. Yeah, that's gonna be epic. I'm so excited. Yay, 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 yay. So as an experiment with making this video, I had to actually do this fun yoga routine each day because we thought we were going to be sharing the yoga portion like live from the confines of my living room. And so I wanted to have it well memorized and under my belt. And actually doing this routine every day really inspired me in a way in terms of my fitness. I'm a person where variety in physical activity is helpful for me to stay engaged and interested, and inspires me to be more active if I vary things up a lot. So it gave me this awesome idea of what if I created like a new yoga routine for the week. And just for that week, I just did the same routine over and over and over again. So I can really focus on different aspects of my body that I'd like to open up and deepen the stretch or to strengthen my certain muscles. And it's just kind of like this cool little short-term goal commitment to myself that I only have to maintain for 7 days. And so, yeah, I really encourage you to try to go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and then it's free. And try this sun meditation and the sun yoga more than once. Try it, between now and Litha. Try doing it a couple times and see how your body feels. See if the poses get easier. See if your body becomes more supple and fluid over each time you try. There's a lot of openers in that practice. There's lots of opening for the hamstrings, for the hips, for the chest, even the quadriceps, even your wrists. There's a lot of opening happening with that particular series. So anyway, we hope you tune in. I want to be respectful of your time. Thank you so much for tuning in. We look forward to connecting with you. And again, please consider checking out our private community. I've already deleted this. I closed the window. Oh well. Please try to connect with us over Mighty Networks at Urban Oracle. And you can probably find a link to that if you connect with us on Facebook or through our website. We can get in touch and we can resend you that invite. to join us on our private online community. Well, we'd love to see you there. Namaste, lovelies. Thanks for joining us, and have a beautiful Litha Sabbath.
Bye.
Bye, Katie. We love you.
Bye.
Love y'all too.